having met with the owners of Canada over the course of the campaign last several months, it's not for sale, won't be for sale ever.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
Greetings, everyone, brothers and sisters. Welcome to the Truth Table. I'm Paul Everton, the host here for the second season, season 2, episode 18. We're doing a lot more episodes lately because I think we're coming to a fulcrum point in history, and both my guests have experienced military grade loss of animals through potential military grade weapons. And I'm going to read something that goes way back to 1972. There was the beginning of the World Economic Forum. And I'll put it here so you can also read it. What there? Okay. It says, at least 4 billion useless eaters shall be eliminated by the year 2050 by means of limited wars, organized epidemics of fatal rapid-acting diseases, and starvation. Energy, food, and water shall be kept at subsistence levels for the non-elite, starting with the white population of Western Europe and North America. That means us here, Canada. Western Europe and the United States will be decimated more rapidly than on other continents until the world's population reaches a manageable level of 1 billion. I think we're at 7 or 8 billion by now, of which 500 million will consist of Chinese and Japanese races, selected because they are people who have been regimented for centuries and who are accustomed to obeying authority without question. So this is one of their documents. And I think it matters. This is 1972. And we've seen all of these things unfolding before us. My guests here have both lost animals. They both have firsthand experience dealing with a lot of issues that most of us don't really understand or even are aware of. You know, they want you to keep busy. You know, they want you to keep distracted. Video games, commercials, movies, sports events. Distraction is important for them, but I'm not very distracted. I do a lot of research, and it's because I care about my fellow man. And my guests, Kim and Marianne, both also care about their fellow man. And like me, this is a hard topic because I love animals, and I had to block all kinds of people just because they're constantly putting, dead animals or abused animals, and it just rips me apart because I know it's happening, but I experience it. I experience pain and suffering just looking at that picture of pain and suffering. So we have to spread this information without causing harm. The awareness and protection of animals. A lot of people that are coming into this country don't like dogs, and I have a problem with that because I love dogs. Dogs are amazing animals. I don't even know where to start because there's so many rabbit holes here um, that we could fall into. So I'm going to start just with animals because I think that is a good place to start. Now, Kim, you have welcome to the show again for your second appearance. It's a pleasure to
Thank
have
you.
you back.
I'm glad to be here. Thanks for inviting me back.
It's my pleasure. I can't even imagine what it would be like to lose animals like you have, and Marianne as well. But let's just start with your animals and how it happened.
Uh, I, as a individual, uh, was targeted myself, first of all. The targeting started with me and my son that lives with me. Uh, and then it went to my animals. Uh, and it, they shock and burn them. Uh, they shock them while I hold them. They have burned my bulldogs where it actually burns the hair off of them and leaves, patches of burned skin. Uh, I'm not sure how they do this, but they can actually put hot polymer, is what they're burning them with, in their ears. They like to burn their ears. They like to burn their toes. They like to burn their tail heads. They chase them around all night and during the day, shocking them. Uh, Also, with all this, because a lot of this is radiation, uh, my animals now are losing their hair uh, because of the radiation from the frequencies.
Yeah.
Uh, my one animal is almost bald. Uh, I have lost 4 animals, and not only is drones are involved. That can actually hurt your animals inside your house and outside. And I've lost an animal to a drone. I've lost which was a horse. I've lost a parrot to one morning just sitting there drinking my coffee, and they shocked her to death in her cage. Uh, I've lost one to the radiation poisoning, which was a cat. And I lost one to a twisted stomach because of being so upset by what was going on.
Yeah, it's terrible. I can't even imagine. Like they used my parents when they put one of our dogs down if they were sick or old, they would hide that from me because they knew I would have lost my mind, my marbles. So I don't know. I mean, Marianne, she's also our guest here today. Lost 10 animals, which is even more. If
Hi, Marianne.
welcome to the show, Marianne. Thanks for coming.
Thanks.
Now you're also writing a book. Is the
I'm
book
writing a
finished?
book. Yep. Right now, I'm writing a book called Where's My Mom? She disappeared in 2020, and no one's seen her since. And at this point now, I've had to go to Homeland Security to file her as. She basically said she was going down to the States to get married. She never filled out a K-1 visa or anything and just disappeared. And the abuse started in 2017. have to take it back a little bit. In 2003, I was hired as a temporary legal assistant to work at SNC Lavalin. I don't know if everyone's familiar with SNC Lavalin, but they were in trouble. Back then, they did a bribe with Libya, and I actually was working in the law department as a temporary legal assistant during that time, not knowing any of it. All I knew was one of the lawyers was in Libya and the other one was working really strange hours, which would match the timeline of Libya. So I had no idea. And I was like 30, 34, 35. So I just did the temp job there and on with my life. Moved up north in 2014. My mother needed help. Her husband had died. She ran a kennel. She had 21 animals. She had they were all 3 dogs and the rest were cats, exotic felines. She showed them. She was an unethical breeder, but that's a different story, which will be in my book. But she basically in 2017 was when Jody Raybould began to get bullied by Justin Trudeau. And I was on the internet, not thinking twice that anybody was following little old me and said, hey, I worked there doing that. And the next thing I knew, my golden retriever was being poisoned. My golden retriever was given edibles the first time, magic mushrooms the second time, and the third time she was given benzodiazepines. The reason why I know this, I don't know, I'm not positive, but just the reactions, because I have used these medications and drugs before. But the third time they almost killed her. Luckily enough, I was able to give her, I was giving her like oral intravenous, so we kept her hydrated, and she had an obstructed bowel and she was vomiting feces, but she lived. She's an incredible animal. And I believe part of that, and Kim does Reiki, so you know, I have my Reiki level 1. I believe that part of that is the energy of the universe that helped with it. So after that, after 2017, they started to do things, but when 2020 came, my mother was a snowbird. She was going down to South Carolina. 2017, she took possession of a home. And so she was going down every 6 months. So I was left alone 6 months at a time. And what they would do is they would steal my animals, keep them for 6-7 days, and then toss them back on the deck. You know, in different stages of starvation, dehydration, etc. Luckily enough, they lived most of the time. Although I got a lot of them were older, and they're over 10. And one of them came back. They had scaled all of her teeth. Basically, they were telling me to get the shit out of my mouth. Pardon my language. And they cleaned her teeth, but they didn't give her any anesthetic for pain. And so she had a stroke. So that's when the first one died, and her name was Violetta. And then it just went on from there. The entire area was involved. Basically, what it came down to was they were doing all of this in exchange for medical equipment. There's over $60 million worth of medical equipment that went into this area, which is Grey Bruce, Ontario, Canada.
Right.
Owen Sound.
Yep.
And it was the Owen Sound Hospital. Since it started to get out on Reddit that this was going on, they've changed the name of the hospital to Bright Shores now, and the entire unit. And so this was a place that, and I have if you go to my Twitter page, which is at Marianne 2024-999, you'll see I have, it has all the fundraising that they tried to do to raise for a CAT scan, and they couldn't get $250,000 together in a year. However, in 1 year, they were able to put a $2 million CAT scan in. And in 10 years, now they have 3 CAT scans, an MRI, and a $25 million rehab. And all of this began with Justin Trudeau. And what he wanted to do was, I was using cannabis as a medicine, as opposed to using painkillers or anything else. I've had attempts made on my life I was stalked since 1998, and someone pushed me down a flight of stairs. I'm hypermobile all across here. And so I was using cannabis because I couldn't get in to see a doctor. There were no doctors up there. And what they were trying to do was they were doing MK Ultra testing on me, where they were using psyops, trying to make me go crazy, either lose my mind, get arrested, or kill myself. And
Yeah.
that's the goal. The goal is to shut you up.
Mary, I'll like to speak if she doesn't mind. That's exactly what they did to me. They tried to make you think that you are crazy. They tried to alienate all your family members, all your friends around you, so you know they don't have anything to do with you.
Yeah,
Uh,
I have new
you
ones. You're right,
know,
exactly,
your
Kim.
own children, your friends on Facebook. Uh, you know, your brothers and sisters, everybody around you, they like to put you by yourself. They try to make you think you're crazy, that you want to kill yourself.
Yeah.
Um, so they do all of that. And what I was going to get back to with the animals, they can control their behavior too. And this is one of the things, as you know, if you listen to me, that I am trying to get the 5G removed and satellites and the chemtrails, because all of these are contributing to being able to control animals' behavior
Yep.
and humanity's behavior. And they are controlling the animals with the nanoparticles in the chemtrails, and not only the animals. If the animals are being controlled, their behavior,
Us,
so are we.
us too. Yes, it is military grade technology that 5G allows them to remotely send frequencies, radio waves, radiation. They can smart meters, Wi-Fi, all the techno LED lights. Oh my God, the blue lights in the city. Like everything they've got is a web of technology that anyone who took the thing can be modified. I showed Marianne a video of the church fight scene in the
Right,
Kingsman, how they use frequencies. So they
right.
do a part of their sorcery is revealing the truth. You know, they do it in a clandestine way, you know, in a movie. So it's make believe, but it is a part of their sorcery to reveal the truth a hidden in a hidden way, you know.
And that's what everybody, like I like to teach about the bees. Everybody thought the bees was because of the herbicides and pesticides. We've been doing that for God knows how long. I mean, I'm not, I don't want that. I don't want herbicides and pesticides going. But the real reason that the bees died this year was because they were confused in the mind and they couldn't forage. Uh, and that's the same way that's going on with the birds not being able to migrate and stuff like this. These animals are trying to teach us what's also happening to us. My animals here, they do not allow them to drink. They do not allow them to eat lots of times. They control their behavior where they won't allow them out of one area. They say they won't, like they did normally, like my Augustus, he liked to play in his fence with his ball, batting it back and forth. Now they will not allow him to do that. So they are controlling the animals and humanity with these frequencies, and they can control us all on a certain part of our brain. And that is the right side of the brain, which is behavior.
Yes, and we, you know, I hope to cover, hope to make it to cover, because I don't know. I feel like I'm, you know, I if I had too much of a reach, I'd be a problem for them. But you know, I am looking for the truth. I'm not saying I am the truth, and I am gonna. I have some guests coming on this week that are deep, 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 deep into what we're talking about right here. And the MK Ultra, a lot of people know about it, and some people think it's a fairy tale, but it used to be in America and it was moved to Canada, and it's used in Canada now. It's still being used. There are
Well, it began in
victims.
Canada. It began in Canada in 1953 at McGill
Yeah,
University, and
yeah,
it's still in the courts right now, and it's on appeal. And the reason being is the Supreme Court of Canada says that the Canadian government's not responsible because the people who were testing on the students at McGill were American military, so the Americans are involved. So it leads to it's all subjective, and but what they're trying to do is they're trying to create a precedent so that when people like me come forward, there I have not there's a precedent against me. There's already a precedent held that says nope, you were tested by the Americans or whatever their excuse would be if I was to come on and fight it and say I was MK Ultra tested. Now I know that I was when the things they did to me, the way they tortured my animals, as well as they had, I don't know if Kim's ever been forced into a psychiatric facility before, but they forced me into a psychiatric facility 3 times. The first time I came upstairs and my golden retriever had been punched. The golden retriever that they poisoned, that they tortured, they punched her in the head so hard she had a goose egg over it. So I didn't have a phone. They had cut off all my phone lines. I was using Skype. Skype can't do emergency phone calls. So I had to go to the neighbor, who was actually the one who was orchestrating all of these killings and break-ins, and asked to use the phone. And when I did, the police showed up and called an ambulance. They took me to the hospital and they said that I was suicidal. When I got on the phone with my lawyer, somebody punched me in the face. And it seemed like, and I know Kim and I have already, we had a great conversation this weekend about this, is that the PSYOPs begin. Everyone in the area, everyone that was in the hospital with me wasn't on medication. There was nobody on any medication at all. So, and they all seemed to kind of look like somebody I knew, and they would behave and say things that would trigger me. But I just knew that I wasn't going to give them the best of me. And so that was the one thing. And then the doctor said, you're suicidal. But luckily enough, I worked in law for 20 years. So I was able to call the consent capacity board and start an appeal immediately. And I was out of there in 10 days. And there's a woman named Helen Jones, and she was the orchestrator at the hospital. And she's been given a promotion since. She's a teacher now. And she basically followed me to the elevator that day, and she said, "Oh, you're leaving. Lucky you." And then there was a second time, which was in that was in November of 2022. And then in January of 2023, 4 people attacked me on a trail. They called the police and said I attacked them. I ended up in the ward again. Same PSYOPs over again, except this time they tried to force Abilify on me, which I have since, I spoke to a woman named Dr. Anna, who's on Twitter. This is why I say, Kim, you should really get on Twitter. There's a lot of us there. And she's in exile right now. She was an anesthesiologist for 34 years. And she had indicated that that's what they're doing right now, is they're testing new drugs on psychiatric patients without their consent. And so what they tried to do is what's called getting code whited. And they were trying to code white me, which is where they can inject you without your permission, pin you down. And I was able to stay calm enough to get out of there. And then the last time in 2023, they filed application records. My mother disappeared in 2020, I should say. She went down to the United States to get married, as I said. No K-1 visa, nothing. She said she'd known this guy 3 months. I figured it was for a green card. Anyway, she's done none of the paperwork. She's still registered, but has not done her taxes since 2021, which I did for her. And her credit rating, I have her SIN number. I have all of her documentation. She left everything behind. And so I checked her credit rating, and it hasn't moved since 2021. So I don't know what happened to her. That's why my book's called Where's My Mom? And so when in 2023, I received a notice of application evicting me from the home that I lived in with the 9 animals that were left after they were killed off by various people, including the veterinarian in town, Richard Lefebvre, who stopped I took one of the cats in to be neutered. He stopped his heart and then started it back up and gave him back to me cold. And I couldn't warm him back up, and he died. One of them was my cat Indigo, who they kidnapped. He got crystals. They clogged his kidneys. He had kidney failure. I took him to Lefebvre to put him down. Lefebvre called me and said, "No, he's fine. We did a flush. He's fine." I brought him home, and he died within 24 hours. So they were trying to get me to freak out and go after these people. All the locals were in on it because they wanted these CAT scans. And I even, it was just the third time when I went in, what happened was I was evicted from the home. They called an ambulance for me because I had a panic attack, and they held me at the hospital for 34 days. And the reason why was they said, you are in for, if you don't have anywhere to go, you go into the psychiatric ward. Like if you have nowhere to live in Canada, they put you in the psychiatric ward, which is unbelievable. And while I was there, I said to the woman, medically testing on people without their consent is against the Geneva Convention, and it doesn't have a statute of limitation. And the woman looked at me and she said, that was last year. And that's what I've had to experience. And it's just been crazy. So I spent 1 year. I also was confined to a farm at 776063 Highway number 10 in Markdale, Ontario, where I don't believe the man lived there. I believe he said he worked 19 hours a day. He had 7 full grown dogs, a flock of chickens, and a full working farm, 100 acres. And he had me cleaning the house, cooking, and paying him $1,000. But he depleted my last month's rent, so I had nowhere to go. And I was being gaslit for the 19 hours he was gone. There were things happening that it was just, you know, Kim, what it's like, moving things around, making things disappear, such and such. And just to basically trying to drive me crazy again. And then on October 18th, first of all, September, you're supposed to put the heat on in Canada on September 15th so that every common area is 68 degrees. By the time I left this house, it was 10 degrees Celsius, which is 50 degrees Fahrenheit. And so I was freezing. And he evicted me. And because I was subletting, there's no landlord-tenant rule to it. You're gone. And what they were hoping was that I was going to end up back in the hospital again so they could do more psyops on me. And instead what happened was, luckily enough, my very dear friend of 40 years, I somehow, luckily, they let me talk to her on Facebook. She said, if you can get to Bowmanville, you can stay here. And that's what happened, as I ended up in Bowmanville, and I've been trying to reestablish myself ever since. So for the last year, I've been looking for my mother. Trying all of the proper avenues. I went to the consulate. I went to the police, and everyone said, "Well, it doesn't sound to me like she wants to be found." And then it dawned on me, well, of course she doesn't want to be found because she's not there legally. So that's when I went to ICE. So.
Yeah, they do try to take people from you. They try their best.
They've taken everyone from me. I have no friends, no family. No one will talk to me. I have 2 members of my family that are police officers who will not talk to me. My brother's disowned me because of what's happened. All of the friends that I had through Facebook, through my life in the 90s, and I sent a message off I sent you the meme, Paul, the other day. That somebody, I contacted them and said, hey, long time no talk, how's Claudio? And I got sent back this meme, and it was like, I couldn't understand it. And I asked you to interpret it to me, but it was something along the lines of something about, I can't remember. Anyways, it was, I couldn't understand it, but it was something about, Christians not acting like Christians, and which would not be something Stephen would really say. But I mean, they basically ostracized me from everyone. I have no one. I have no family. I've never been married. I have no children. And so, yeah, I'm on my own. I'm renting a room right now. I'm lucky enough, and they backed off. Whatever was happening, getting out of that area. There was some stuff going on, some gaslighting and gang stalking going on in Bowmanville. But since I've moved to Oshawa, they backed off, which is great.
This medical testing that they can do that now right in our homes. Okay.
Yeah.
So they can, you don't have to, right in our homes, they can, with their directed energy weapons and stuff, with nanoparticles and everything that's out there, they can do this medical testing right in our home. They are doing it on me and my animals. They can put biosensors in you. They can put nanowire in you. All this is for the control of mind and body.
Yes, a complete takeover.
Yes.
It's working me.
Digitizing us.
And this is all humanity and animals.
Yes.
I mean, globally, not just in like Canada and the United States. It is globally.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it is, and they're able to target. They're going to sell a technology like someone with diabetes. They can remotely, get the body to create insulin, so that you don't have to go to a doctor. You don't have to get a needle. It would be remote medical care, and that's how they're going to sell it. They're going to be able to cure cancer. The problem is they're going to have access to your body. And that's what they want. They want access. They only want 500 million. Now they want to get rid of the most intelligent because those are the ones that are a threat to them. They want to keep all the workers, the good hard worker. the good men and the good smart women, and they will utilize what they can use. But yeah, the mRNA and the spraying of glyphosate violates the Geneva Convention and is just an absolute open crime that they're admitting, that affects animals, the people, and even the fish in the water.
And they have 5G sensors in our oceans. So my research and study, the dolphins and the whales, what that seems like to them is like a jet plane gone off right beside, their heads. That loud. That's what the 5G sensors are doing, that they have now put in our oceans and stuff.
Yeah.
But I
Well,
lost.
that's why they're beaching themselves, right? They
Huh?
can't handle the sound anymore. That's why they're
Right.
beaching themselves, right? They can't handle the sound anymore. They've had enough.
It's just like, blowing their.
I lost my thesaurus, so I couldn't find the words to describe how upset I am.
You cannot believe what they can do now. And this all started, it really revved up with the 5G in really in 2021. They started in 2020, but really in 2021. You cannot believe to what they can do to our animals and to us in the privacy of our own homes now.
And
And
this is,
there's nothing you can do about it. I
Nope.
have wrote every agency. I've wrote the presidents, both President Biden and Trump here in the United States. I have wrote Homeland Security. I have wrote the FBI. Our local people. I have went to the police. You get no help with the police. Matter of fact, if you're not careful, the police will come and haul you off if you speak out too much against it. And I had a good friend that also, that's exactly what happened. She spoke out on social media, and the police showed up at her house and hauled her off to be evaluated for like 10 days because of what she spoke on social media.
Right. And they're evaluating you so that they can discredit you. I mean, there's no question about it. That's the only reason why they put you in mental health facilities, is to discredit you. So later on, like, you'd say, have you ever been in a mental health facility? Oh, well, then what you're saying can't be valid because you have mental health issues, which is far from the case.
well, I mean,
I'm sorry. The other thing that they did is once they're done targeting you, if you don't cooperate or whatever, you keep on telling your truth, they start on your family members. So then, like my middle son, they have set him up for something he did not do. So now he has to go to trial and fight for that he is completely innocent for. And this is what they like to do. They will shut everybody up.
Well, they can't shut me up because they've already taken my children. They've already taken my father. They've taken everything. They've taken my ability to tour with the band. So I have nothing left to lose. So I am here. And I feel like it's timely, and I feel like God's protecting me. And I know my children are eternal, so I don't mourn anymore. I know it is a sad story, but I don't mourn anymore because I know I'm eternal too, and I know it's just a very small space and time between now and the infinity. So I think all these bad things that we've been finding out with your stories and with many others that I've had on my show, and Wednesdays is going to be even more. But
Yeah,
the
Kirk's
military
going on.
man, and yeah, well, there's Kirk, but there's a couple of others I'm not even going to mention because they'll shut it down. But there are big things happening, and the best part is that Mother Earth is going to heal itself. It's going to be healed. So there are beautiful things that are going to come to us. They're not here now. This is the hard part, but it's birthing pains. We are going to get through this together, and we have to really think in a united fashion that we're all brothers and sisters, and there's one creator, only one. and he is great. He is the great facilitator. Without water we wouldn't live. And as water, God is everywhere, you know. So it's, you can romanticize, but the faiths, all the faiths I found, uh, Islam, Christianity, they have all betrayed their people. They betrayed God's children. They separated us from God instead of bringing us closer to God. They taught us the wrong way to pray, and they taught us to just respect the Creator and each other. And each other. They made enemies out of brothers and sisters, like Cain and Abel. They're doing it to all mankind and seeing a shade of color as making us better or worse. We're not. We're all equal, and I'm going to stand in this truth, and we're all going to stand for our animals and our friends, our neighbors. If they're cold, we'll give you a coat. We'll put a coat on your back. That's who we are. Don't ever let them tell you you're not. You're not racist. You're There's nothing wrong with preserving your life and preventing bad things from happening. It's not a crime to think. And they're getting very close, because we're getting very close to the end. This is why Bill C9 is being introduced. They're showing their intent.
Bill C9.
Nobody's there in Parliament. There isn't anybody there for us.
Well,
None.
they tried to make that disappear, though, or at least shade it with the ostriches, because we were all had our eyes on the ostriches, and as we did, the House of Commons was slowly passing quietly Bill C9.
And that wasn't news. That was between the farm and the government, and they had to deal with that situation. They either had to, fulfill their contract, when you have a license or what have you. It is showing government control, but there's also rules and stipulations. If you're supposed to do something or call or whatever, that's not
unethical,
news.
though.
That is just one company and one government, having a thing. It wasn't news. It was meant to divide us again. They're doing it over and over and over. Everything they can find. The next is they're calling chickens. They're trying to hurt our food supply. They don't allow raw milk because it's good for you. They allow poisons in our food. We're dealing with enemies in the government. There's no doubt about it. And even a lot of the police and the military know damn well that the enemy is within. So
they are
we're going to be able to resolve it with our faith and our because we don't turn the other cheek. If we keep turning the other cheek, we're going to run out of cheeks. And I'm not a betting man, but I would bet $100 on the Dalai Lama if I was a Tibetan man.
The holy moly, as I call him.
And humor is important. See, I'll be serious and then I'll crack a joke, because both are important.
Yeah.
I want to just bring you down. I want to bring you back up. Like, could I do this if I was married? If I was married, could I do it for that long? See, it's good. It's good. You have to smile. You have to laugh, because we're beautiful people, and that's been stolen from us. But we can take it back, and we will take it back. We're not going to be victims anymore, even though we are technically victims, all of us.
Yes.
And children, and our animals are the most vulnerable. But we reach out our arms in love, and we're not going to sit down and be quiet about it.
I call myself a survivor as opposed to a victim. I'm surviving this. I am enduring this. And like I said, I that's why I said, when Kim told me her story, we've spent some time talking on the weekend. I was like, okay, mine is old school vigilante stuff, like this gang stalking that went on, the targeted individuals. Kim's stuff is so much more, not meaning that my story is as meaningful or anything like that. But what's happening with her is, I said to her, can you move? Because I was able to run, and once I got out of the area, it seems to stop. And she says they follow her. So, it just horrifies me.
Yeah, I'm on surveillance 24 hours a day. That means they hear everything I say in my home. They're watching everything I am in my home. I make the comments, because I am a very personal, private person. that I even have to shower with like shorts and stuff on, because I know I have like 7 men watching me at all times in
They
my
had
home.
cameras all through my house too. They had cameras
So,
all through my entire house, as well as when I was out in Salt Spring Island when they framed me in 2018. The house was bugged, and the reason I didn't know it was, but when I went to the house, I was visiting an old high school friend named Leanne Beveridge and her husband Mark, who have somehow disappeared since then. They told me they bought this house even though he was a janitor and she was a guard. So there's no way they could have afforded. Salt Spring Island is like the Beverly Hills of Canada. And she showed me this house. But when I got there, for some reason or other, I could not bathe. I could not get in the shower. I couldn't. And the reason why was because I was being monitored. And when I came back to my own home, they had already set up all the surveillance equipment in the house. And yeah, there's a very strange feeling. Something changes inside you when you're being surveilled all the time. And I feel the difference now that I'm not. So that's why I feel for you, Kim. I've been thinking about you ever since we started talking.
to have to, excuse me, because I usually don't talk this way, to sit there and, go to the bathroom in your own bathroom and know that there's people watching you in your home going to the bathroom. This is very, what do you want to call it, degrading. And, and this is the type of stuff that
you think they're supposed to be private experiences.
The surveillance 24 hours, no matter where I move. I was telling Marianne they would follow me. It didn't matter if I moved, clear over to California or somewhere, they would follow me.
Yeah, it breaks my heart. I wish I could come and rescue you, I do. I just wish that I could, because I was able to escape. And I haven't had any I've been here in this house now since July, and I haven't had any problems. I've had one weird experience that I would have called maybe gang stalking, but nothing beyond that, nothing like I was. And I've been able to adopt 2 animals since then, and they're both healthy, touch wood. But and so that's it. But I wish I could come and save you. I wish there was something I could do for you beyond just talking with you. But I support you 100,000%.
The other thing, forget what I was going to say. I forget. That's one thing that they can do, because they do play with my mind, because I am heavily targeted by a company that, once again, is tied to the military. So they do try to control my speech. They do try to control my mind. They try to control my body parts. They control my eyes. They try to force words through me that's not my words. They did this to my son, first of all, and I didn't understand, what was happening with him. And he would come to me and say, "Mom, I didn't even want those words. Why did I say it?" And at that time, I didn't understand what was happening with him, because it kind of started with him even before me. So, they control our thoughts, our feelings, and our emotions. And they can do this now to everybody since the 5D.
And evidence, they even say this out loud. In 2030, you're going to be happy. So how can they guarantee an emotion? Unless they can control that emotion. So they're really revealing what they're capable of doing. It's
already happened. It's happened since 2021. 2030 was just a number that they threw out there, but they actually been doing it since 2021.
Yep.
Right when my mother disappeared, isn't that convenient?
Everything revved up in 2021, and then it really revved up in 2022.
2022 is when they threw me in the hospital. So yeah, and they did everything. Like they were going after woodland animals. They took a squirrel and pulled all the fur off his tail, and then fed him to my dogs. And I was able to get him away. And he followed me back to the house, and he was like in the window, kind of looking at me. What do I do? And all I could see was the bones in his tail. They would put butterflies and break their wings and leave them in my foyer. Gutting animals, leaving their guts on my front step.
They hire neighbors around you to torment you.
Susan and Anthony Crutcher, and they owned 420 acres of land up in that area called Greystone Trails, and she was doing it. She knew Theta, which you're familiar with, Kim, I'm sure, what Theta healing is. She was a Theta teacher, and she was organizing and orchestrating. They had staff, groundskeepers, and the groundskeepers were the ones who were starting it. And then as they got the medical equipment, that's when the other people started, because they were doing dirty deeds done dirt cheap, giving them small payments they were calling it an audit, because they told people that I was a transgender lesbian pedophile.
They like to use that on everyone. Like back to my Great Dane that they killed. She had never went, we lived here a while, never went down on the road. They can mind control your dog, brain stimulate, it's what I call, because that's what, to go stand on the road so it gets hit. They can control us, and this all started with the 5G because they needed to upper the electromagnetic field. So they needed 3 things. They needed the vaccine, they needed the chemtrails, and they needed the 5G. And they're all 3 working together.
Yep, that's true. And,
Wow.
And this is why the reason why I got targeted is because I knew something about the vaccine. I put it on social media to my son to ask him to rethink about taking the vaccine, and I instantly got targeted after that.
Of course.
And the same with me with Justin Trudeau, right? When I went on and said, oh, I was a legal assistant at SNC Lavalin. Next thing I knew, my dog was poisoned. So it's amazing. And you don't think about it. We've used social media now since 2004, since Facebook, and it was harmless. Oh, here's pictures of me when I was a little kid. Let's connect with our old friends from high school. That was what it was. And then all of a sudden, why would I think that I'm being followed? Why would I think, little old me, legal secretary, right? Like, why?
That's right.
I'm nobody. And then next thing I know, I'm left completely alone. They disabled my vehicle. They tried to starve me out. They put ivermectin in my food that they were delivering because I had no vehicle. I had my food delivered to the house. They put ivermectin in it. When I said to the delivery guy, I said, you're just following orders, right? And he said, yeah. I said, yeah, well, the Nazis were just following orders too.
That's why I wanted to bring, I can only drive to the grocery store because as a target individual, they can what's called force sleep you.
Oh, wow.
So that means they can put me to sleep, and like every night they put me to sleep. Or if I sit still anywhere, as long as you're not moving, they can put you to sleep. It's called forced sleep.
Wow.
And so if I get in my vehicle, I only go to the grocery store because they've done this several times, and I almost died several times. So the only place I really go in my vehicle is to the grocery store. And as she was saying, with your car, they hire people, or I don't know what they're doing, but it's repairs 1 week right after the other of how they try to destroy your vehicle.
Yeah, I went into the grocery store and I came back out and the car wouldn't start. And there was a man there who sort of looked like James Hetfield, who I know and I heard had bought property up in the area. I'm a singer of Metallica. And this man was like, oh, want me to help you with your car? And I said, that's the same thing Ted Bundy said. So no, thank you. I'll call CAA. And I had him. I was just,
and I do all the time. So, when I am in my vehicle, I see the drone. I have taken pictures of the drone. I have a drone that is with me at all times.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't see any drones or anything like that. Like I said, I think this was just from what I was experiencing was all homegrown, just targeted individual gang stalking, old school gang stalking with a bunch of people who are nasty, who I wasn't local, and I had given my friends a real estate tip saying that the area had reasonably priced land and clean water and would be a good place because in Canada, the Muskokas is a place to go in Ontario for summer folk. A lot of Americans go there. And I said to my friend Bob Ritchie, who's Kid Rock, I sent him on Twitter and said, hey, why don't you try Wyerton? You know, people aren't, you know, as stuck up here. And they started buying up land, and the locals hated it. And that's when they tried to get me out of the area. And so they all took their turns hurting the animals, hoping I would leave.
Yeah.
And of course, Justin was involved, just rubbing his hands together, going, excellent. You know?
Yeah. As soon as you speak out, say like me doing this show today, chances are somebody is going to pay for it, whether it's an animal or something within my home.
I'm sorry to hear that. I hope not. I'm going to send you positive vibes and hope that that doesn't happen.
Yeah. Yeah, I just want us to make it through what we're going through and survive and enjoy our new bodies.
I guess, like what we used to think of target individual with directed energy weapons. If people knows what directed energy weapons is, people got targeted. Now, since the 5G, they are all energy weapons on all humanity and animals. I mean, radiation in our homes. People has, you know, their meters out, and the radiation from the towers and the satellites in the sky, because they're putting in low-lying ones, is like through the roof right now in our homes.
It's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah,
And that alone is causing cancer in our animals. And anybody that has like a chipped animal, you know, you get chips so your dog, you know, in case it runs away, they're experiencing it worse because it's hitting that chip, the radiation directly. But cancer, the other cancer in the animals is sky high. And the other thing with these, the first organ that usually hits is our thyroid. Their thyroid cancer is on the rise, not only in humans. My son's girlfriend is a doctor, and she kind of confirmed that thyroid cancer is really gone through the roof since the 5G has been out.
Incredible. I wonder if they're attacking you more because you're in the United States, and so therefore, because like I said, what happened to me, there wasn't any like 5G stuff happen. Well, I mean, I guess it's happening, but not the same. Like yours is more the high tech end with the drones and stuff, whereas I think mine was more like gangland violence.
They are military weapons. That's how my animals are being targeted with military weapons. These are weapons that are being, you know, made for the military, that they are attacking me and my animals with. Yeah, because I spoke out just in private. I thought it was private. I thought it was private to my son to please not take the vaccine, and the reason why, because I knew something about the vaccine. And I thought I just did it very innocently. You know, that was just going to be to my son. I wasn't going to like spread it throughout the world. Mm-hmm. And I got targeted because I was naive at that time, thinking it was just between my son and me.
Yep. Yeah, it's the same with me. I just put it on my Facebook page and said, look at this. Oh, wow, I was there during that time. And Justin then went out of his way to make sure that I was framed and unable to, well, they ended up pleading guilty anyways to the bribery charges and paid, I think, $275 million in settlement. But, you know, I should have been at that trial. I should have been a witness, and he made sure that there was no way I was going to be one.
You know, and I am like 60 years old. I just like to help animals. And my family, I'm a private person. I wouldn't hurt anybody. I was minding my own business, and wow, here I am. I would never even thought something like this would ever occur ever in the world, all along the United States.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's crazy. The whole thing's just crazy. And I'm sorry about your business
and kill animals. And this is what happened to me.
But we're dealing with very sick people that will have no problem with killing. And, Kirk is with us. You guys know Kirk?
I know Kirk. Kirk's the
Kirk,
man who
Kirk.
got me talking. Between him and my friend Dave, they're the ones who have given me my voice. Before that, I was scared shitless and didn't know what to do. And then they encouraged me, and that's how I got writing my book. Even Kirk actually had me read my first chapter today on his space on X. That's why I'm saying, Kim, you should join us on X, because right now we're gathering. The whistleblowers are gathering, and you really belong with us. I think you could get
And
a lot
they
of
should.
moral support. The one thing with Kirk and Sue's space is that it's not just there to tell our stories, but it's there to support one another. And I think that you could really use that. I think that you'd benefit from joining this space with us. I think you would a lot.
Even though I've been targeted, sorry, Paul, even though I've been targeted and very heavily, I want to be the voice for the animals.
Yep.
Because they're dying, whether it's wildlife, whether it's their pets. I know they're going to try to go after, they did, or the chickens, which was a man-made thing also, the bird flu, and they're going to go after the dairy cow next. And I know this. And
well, they are with the Bovaer vaccine is like killing the cows. So they are trying to hurt the food supply. I mean, these guys are criminals, and we have nobody to stop them. The police aren't going to stop them. And, when I speak to them. I'm talking to you guys, you guys are witnessing this too. So this show is for you, from the inside, the AI. I speak to the AI, even though I don't like the biblical role that you may have. But a lot of things are happening between now and the 19th of this month, as the the AI, was it I Atlas 3i Atlas? It's funny they put IA backwards, AI backwards, 3i Atlas. So it's IA in there backwards. They did that with DEI. It's really die. And Diet Coke is really die, because they instead of sugar, they're using the droppings of bacteria that was banned. It was known as a pop, like forbidden, never ever allow this in the food supply, but they put it in Diet Pop. So we're dealing with criminals. I mean, nobody, none of us are like this. None of us would say, hey, let's put the dropping of bacteria in our pop. Like, nobody thinks like that. Well, we want to create a recipe. We want it to be healthy. Like we're making it for our own family. If we created soups, we would make it like we're making it for our family. We wouldn't try to cut corners. And, we want healthy products, and we deserve healthy products. But we're dealing with a monopoly game here where all the corporations are involved, which is fascism. We saw that with COVID, with the media and the, overcycling. So they got this 97% false positives to scare the hell out of everybody into getting COVID vaccine. They use the media to every day put out 300 new cases, 400 new cases, and they're all lies. There was no COVID. It's never been isolated. The crime of the century on a biblical scale that included every country, they attack animals, for God's sakes. I mean, what the hell benefit are they getting off of that except just trying to traumatize the person who loves the animal?
Actually, they would have to say all animals, even our pets. The people that is doing this, they want everything gone as far as animals to control our food supply, but they also want our pets gone also.
Mm-hmm. Yep. There's parasites in the pigs. I would recommend everyone, do a parasite cleanse, and heavy metal cleanse if you're able, just for your just for, because what's coming, you want to clean all this out if you can. As far as the mRNA, I believe I have heard some good news. I can't verify anything, so I'm not going to say is it, but I believe it. I trust my gut, so it must be right. But I'm going to say it's a hearsay statement that they will be able to shut down the mRNA. So it's not as scary as we thought, but they will be able to control people with it. It's like an EMP, to shut down the grid. They have something to shut down the mRNA. So that's positive news that I've heard lately. And I've got my head deep in the ground like an archaeologist. I want to know everything. I study all the religions to see what's going on, and I have found so many different, like the Jews don't believe, the rabbinic Jews don't believe in Jesus, right? They say he's like, they don't talk nice about him, but they talk about him. You know what I mean? And the Quran talks about him. The Quran says he wasn't crucified, where the Christian says he was crucified. So they've got conflicting stories that were almost by design to separate mankind. To say, well, your church must be a liar. But the problem, what I found is they've all been compromised because there's some truth and some inputted in the Quran, the Bible. Both of them have been corrupted.
Yeah.
And
Hate thy neighbor.
created. Constantine did
They're
it.
trying to encourage hate thy neighbor.
But Constantine was the first one, and then we have the Pope Gregory, who changed the calendar to put us all out of sync with our Creator, which is what the calendar was made for. Our year is supposed to start April 1st. They've made it start in January. We used to have 13-month years. Now they made it 12 months and banned the 13th floor on apartment buildings. Like 13 is such an evil number. Well, it's absolutely the opposite of that. 13 is our number. There are 13 ridges on a turtle's back. 13 is our number. The swastika is the procession of the equinox. It's the position of the Big Dipper, and the North Star. It's like every season it's in a different position. And that's where the swastika comes from. It's a good thing. It's a positive thing. It's not a negative thing. And you can't hijack a symbol like that. But they are hijacking words. They're hijacking words by trying to assimilate homosexual people into accepting the word queer as, this is a gender or something. But really, it means strange and peculiar. It's not a compliment. It's not a sexual proclivity. It is an insult. So they've changed the meanings of words. So when we speak, we're actually not even really saying what we're saying. And, the power of God is the word, right? So the word is so important to me that we say the words that we mean. Otherwise, we could be harming ourselves or harming others, like associating the word queer. Is it one of those, just one example of one word that they have usurped? So, and that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to tell the truth. I'm here to show you people that are experiencing good and bad things firsthand. And, we're here to love. We're not here to judge, but we are here to expose. And no matter what, even, Sandy, hey, oh my goodness, there's Peanut. Oh my goodness. This is a fan of mine. Can I say fan? If I don't play anymore, you can't really be a fan anymore. But yeah, she was a bareback rider fan when I was in my band. And my God, this must be the first time you've ever been in the back here. Well, it's very nice to see you, Sandy. She was a very good fan, and she thinks I'm terrific. So she obviously doesn't know me very well.
Go on, I don't believe that.
I'm just kidding. If I was married, would I be able to do this? My brother Bob is here. Bob, nice to see you, brother. All your pictures of your meals make me hungry. And Kirk, of course, is here, and he's going to be on the show on Wednesday, and that's going to be a show you want to see, just like this one. You know, we're just telling you what's happening here, just to prepare you, because it's happening very quickly. But these programs that we're talking about today has been going on for a long time. They've been experimenting. MK Ultra, I mean, my God, that started in the 50s, 40s.
1953, MK Ultra is originally from the Nazis. The Nazis were the ones who began MK Ultra. It's called Mind Control Ultra. So, but testing on people without their consent was, as far as I know, started in 1953 at McGill University through a bunch of McGill students, and their children are now suing. And as I said, they lost the trial and they're appealing it under the pretense that the government, the military was the United States military, so they can't sue the Canadian government, even though it was on Canadian soil. It's just they're doing it because they're trying to create a precedent to keep people like me, and I know there's more. I'm not the only one. I know I'm not the only one out there that's had this done to them, from being able to file a lawsuit or do anything else.
So we all have bad news. There's bad news, and it's hard. It's like, you know, someone you love cheating on you. It's hard, you know, it's difficult. Or you're, you know, being stabbed in the back by your family that you love, you know, or a friend that you cared about, and finding out they were your friends. This is what we're finding out, but on a governmental level and a military level. I mean, they know there's glyphosate on those planes. You know, they know that it does harm, but it's still happening. Nobody's stopping it. No one on the inside is stopping it. So there's big things that have to happen, and we have to raise our frequencies the best we can. Even with the bad news, we want to elevate you. We want you to bring you out of the negativity and into the positive, because that's how you win this. You win this war by not being the victim anymore. Like a narcissist,
the survivor.
Play the victim.
By loving each other and coming together in unity, by loving each other. It really is a spiritual battle. Some people think it's not a spiritual battle, but it is a spiritual battle.
It is. And I've got to share this. She said, this is my fan, Sandy here. I won't share our history. I won't talk about what happened in the closet. Oh, oops, I said it. Oh my God. She said, you were a fan of mine. Oh, shoot. It's true. I was. I had a wireless microphone so I could leave the stage and dance with her. And I had a crush on her, but she was taken, so I couldn't have her. So it was kind of an odd situation where, you know, she was unavailable, and I was very available. I was single. Oh wait, was I single? Yeah, I think I was single. But I'm glad you're here, Sandy. You would see, you're a perfect example. This is a perfect example of raising the frequency of, because we're not trying to make light of the situation. The situation is dire. It's dark. Anyone who would, you know, want to hurt someone by hurting their animal is very demented and a sick human being to even consider doing such a thing.
Well, they seem to like to do it. They like to torture the dogs, but they would kill the cats. That's what it was with me. So it was, the dogs were to be tortured, but the cats they didn't care about. They were just murdering them. So yeah, just
here it didn't really matter what kind of animal it was.
But I mean, Kim, you also, you don't just love animals. You have a very unique connection with them. You're able to heal them, and so let's talk about that, because I think that's fascinating. And that's based on love.
The animals that survived all this, I like Marianne said, I almost called you Marie. Like Marianne said, I think that's what's kept them alive and going, is the healing, the Reiki that I do. And yes, Because you have to, one thing I want people to know is you have to really know your animals. And has the behavior in your animal changed and why?
Mhm.
I can actually train through Reiki. I think I've told you that before. I have healed brain tumors through Reiki. In a dog, I can like train your like I've stopped horses from bucking. I can talk to them telepathically. We all can talk to our animals or anything telepathically. We're all telepathic. And we don't need any synthetic telepathic. So, because we are all connected telepathically with our animals, with other people. But with talking to them telepathically and doing the Reiki, I have stopped horses from bucking, horses from, stop them from kicking, uh, where they've had, you don't need this harsh training, taking away their free will of anything anymore. You can do that right through Reiki. And I have healed, like I said, brain tumor in a dog. I can heal illnesses and I don't know. They're trying to shut my words down. They're my mind down to think, and they have done that quite a bit with me. So they tried to cut my own thoughts and.
Reiki is an incredible thing. And as you know, I have my level 1 Reiki, and I know I've been attuned, and I just know that it was life changing. And so, with Kim being a Reiki master as well as healing animals with it, I know that my golden retriever, I don't think and my other animals too, some of them wouldn't have been alive if I hadn't had that gift in me, running through me, and from the universe. And so, with Kim being at such a high level, I mean, I'm grateful to you for what you've done for the animals that you did heal.
Yeah, and
I still have a business. I still have a business. I do it all long distance, so I don't even go see the animals. So, and
the distance healing part too.
Yeah, so I just connect with the energy and send it that way because energy flows wherever your intention goes. So the Reiki energy goes to them. Plus, I can speak to them telepathically and train them that way. I have gained lots of friends by helping animals and their stuff. And believe it or not, these are the people that have stuck by me through all of this and has kept me going in my business because social media, Facebook here shut my animal Reiki business down. So they don't allow me to have any new clients. So it was all my old clients that, that I helped with their animals that keeps me going. And that is how I make a living.
well, my friend Sandy that I was talking about, she wants to reach out to you about her dog.
I would be more than glad to help her.
So if you can, she is tagged on this post. Just look up, find her, friend her, message her, and she will be there for you. So I'm not was it Reiki? What did you call it? Reiki?
Reiki.
When it comes to animal behavior, lots of times, because they can read your mind. Animals are telepathic with us.
Yeah. Yes.
So lots of times with behavior, it's because the person's unbalanced. And it's actually the person that has to come back and balance to fix the behavior in the animal.
Yeah, I'm not sure the timeline, but I think this is something that we used to be able to do. Like King Solomon, he could speak to the animals. So I believe that we have a connection that animals didn't lose. They can still talk to us, but we don't hear them anymore. You know what I mean? Whereas you still hear them. So, you're a master Reiki. I'm just a master debater. Debater. You can't say that fast or with a French accent. But yes, Sandy, get a hold of her, and you should be able to. Yeah, said, do you have a website?
I do not have a website because the people that is targeting me has shut down everything. Email,
Trying to make you broke.
Yeah.
They're trying to
messenger.
make you broke. That's
Even,
another way they do it, is they make you destitute.
So
I have
Sandy,
people trying to reach me even, here on Facebook Messenger, and they don't allow it. And they control my email. So what has happened, they have shut me down at every avenue to
all
where
right,
because they bankrupt me. They bankrupt me. I mean, $6,000 just disappeared.
I'll give her your email, okay? You can trust her. I've never, I mean, I've known her for, oh my God, I don't even know how many years, but I have full confidence and trust in her, and so I will give her your email so she can connect with you. And
Thank you.
as soon as I talked to Marianne, I wanted to connect her with you as well.
I
Because
used to have a site for the love of Elliot, but they have shut everything down. And a lot of the things I don't have the money because I live just by how much, I make, and that's it.
Mhm.
So any extra, and, have my son helps me with that, with his part-time job. But they have, like I said, $6,000 just disappeared from my bank account without any traces. And they don't allow anybody to contact me as far as my business, where before I was making a real good, decent living doing animal Reiki.
Mhm.
That's what they need to do. They take away, like me. They made me completely homeless, and took. I barely had I had the shirt on my back when I got out of there. But I
Yep.
got out of there alive. That's the only thing I can say. But yeah, that's exactly what they want. They want you completely destitute, so that way, then you will do something desperate. They're hoping you'll do something desperate. Luckily enough, you haven't, and neither have I. So
Yep.
that's what they want. They want you to
Everything's done.
be as incapable of doing anything as possible. It's like me publishing my book. It's like I'm going to have to put a GoFundMe together so that I can raise the money to publish the book, because it's like $500. I'll never have $500 American all at once. Just, it would happen. It just, so that way now I have to go out and start to raise money. But every time I've run a GoFundMe, they've blocked those too. So someone else is going to have to do that for me. So, I mean, I get it. They just want you to be a complete failure mode.
They control like the whole internet. So,
Yep.
whatever you do on the internet, whether it's your email, YouTube, anything like this, Facebook, any of the social media things, they control all of them.
The only one that's if you want to do any communication, is Discord, because it's owned by Jeff Bezos. And so I found that we were able to communicate a lot more without being as monitored on Discord. But then again, I mean, who's to say?
Mhm.
What has helped me is some of these groups that I've been in that knows me, with their word of mouth. I've gotten, some businesses that way, like Paul did just now. I really appreciate that. And that's how I am getting newer people, because of just that way. Otherwise, social media, they're controlling it here, and they're
Yeah,
not allowing it.
I think God is really involved in my life, in my music. The songs are like the background music you hear right now. Like, I swear to God, that's me and God doing that together. It wasn't me. It just happened. It wasn't planned. There was nothing written on
You
paper.
come do it.
It was just a mutual thing. And yeah, I do think I think animals are definitely a part of this with us. And I
Yes,
think we're at the I think we're at the beginning of an evolution that's been they tried to suppress it.
yep.
And I think animals will want to help. They love us, like it or not.
And
They are souls living. They're living, and they feel pain, and they feel love. And there's a lot of connecting that they want to stop, but I think that my faith is why you're here. It's why people are meeting you, because that's how God works. He works unseen, unnoticed. But
What I
there's
want
mistakes. You being here is not a mistake. It is a divine intervention for both of you to be here, to for everyone to meet you and to hear what you have to say, and to know that this isn't. They might have thought that they were the only person experiencing these things, and you've said, "No, you're not the only one. Guess what? Us too." So it's an awakening, a lifting of the veil that's happening, and I love being part of it. It's a little scary, I'll be honest with you, because once you lift the veil, you see you see the enemy, and it's not pretty. These people aren't like us.
that's right.
They're not like us at all.
It's
They,
like
they have
Dr.
no,
Anna said to me, she said, it's nothing personal, it's just money.
yeah, and they don't have any moral high ground or any reason for their wealth other than stealing it. They didn't earn it. They didn't work for it. They didn't create anything but printing press dollars. That was their wealth. And all these people in Parliament, all the five parties in there, or however many, the bloc, the blue, the red, the orange, they're all the same. They're all on the same team, anti-Canadian. None of them are going to save us. If the NDP win, it will end up with British Columbia or Hamilton, Ontario. It's going to be a hole in a hellhole with people leaned over and on fentanyl. They're going to destroy everything.
Look at
And,
Vancouver. They destroyed Vancouver. They've absolutely murdered Vancouver.
Yep.
They're making all drugs legal. And somebody, I was at an OCB Ontario Cannabis Board place yesterday, and the guy said to me, well, I think it's a good idea to have all legal drugs. And I said, you've no clue then. You need to go to Vancouver. You need to see what's happened, how that city has been destroyed. And it's just like a wave. I call it the genocide of the weak-willed.
Yeah, definitely.
I agree there with Brenda, what she said. Animals and our children are the targets in this.
Yeah,
And I believe that's why we're all here. I believe we are all here to change things so our children and our animals have a better life. I believe the animals are our teachers, and I believe that they have been trying to teach us all along because of example, what happened to the bees. And they are trying to teach us what's going on. If it's happening to the animals, it's definitely happening to us. Another thing you were talking about, the animals are all love. They're all unconditional love. And as far as these, what people puts out on Facebook of these blood and gore type things, they do not like to be seen that way.
No.
And something I've been trying to teach the animals: do not hold grudges. They come from all love, and they no matter what, they do not like this blood and gore stuff that people puts out on Facebook about them.
Yeah,
and this is all about the children and the animals of what all here and the planet.
That is what I learned from dogs, is unconditional love. Because I was very young. Like when I was really, really young, we were too poor, so I had to walk the plank because we couldn't afford a dog. But you got that. That's awesome. That was a joke, yes. But yeah, I do love dogs, and they, they knew I loved them. Just like my neighbor's dog. My neighbor was blown away because her dog came up to me and just put his head down and leaned it on me. And she went, "Oh my God," because the dog knew I loved it, and she knew, she knew how I loved her, that it was unconditional. So, and she showed it when she just leaned her head on me like this. But my landlord was freaked out. She'd never seen her do that before. And I said, yeah, and I told my landlord, yeah, that's because she knows I love her. And she's
Yep.
showing it back. She's showing her love back to me. Yes, a lot of people have lost that connection with animals, and not everyone though. Like I saw you with a bird on your hand. Well, you had food, so you did have incentive.
Actually come and almost land on me now, and I don't need food anymore. They just come and I can hold them.
I know
Uh,
you won't hurt them.
but what I have learned, some people overlook our wildlife. They're into
Yeah.
pets and stuff, and we take everything for granted. And our wildlife is really calling to us now too, because they are being affected by these like frequencies and
Yes, they too. Yes, they know that isn't it amazing? Even my mother just downgrades animals. She doesn't see them the way I do. She's like, you love that dog too much. He's just an animal. He doesn't go to heaven or it's like, mother, even a firefly, you can see the light of God inside of it. It's
Well, I've
it's
heard that they say,
transparent. It's an
oh, that,
example to us that even the small little bug has a flickering light inside of it.
yeah.
So it's a one example. Now, if we could see our own light, if we were transparent, we would be really gross. No one would date us. But still, if you could see the light inside of us, people would live totally differently. They would actually see the divinity and see the firefly is right there as an example. See, even a firefly has a soul. It has a purpose. It may not live as long as we do, but it has a role. It has its quest, its destiny. Our destiny is to find out why we're here and what our purpose is, and to fulfill it. And luckily, we are fulfilling it. I think we are. All three of us, we're all doing our part. And you can think it like a firefly is only a small thing, but it really has a reason. It really has a purpose, a divine purpose, just like a dog. A dog divine role is to love us, really.
right. And this is why I'm fighting too, because I truly believe my guidance and my knowing uh, that none of our animals, humanity, or our children will be safe until satellites are removed. I truly believe that we are here to secure the safety of our children, to secure the safety of all animals, even, the bugs, the butterflies, and everything, the rabbits, the wildlife. And, they can use these satellites that are in the sky now. And there's more going up every day. This is how they're actually really controlling us, is through the satellites in the sky. Uh, and they can look with those satellites. I mean, we want our privacy back. We want our freedoms back. We want our peace back. We want to know that when we are in our home, our animals are safe. We are safe. Somebody's not looking in. They're not reading our minds. They're not controlling our minds. And in order for this to, they're not hooking us up brain to computer, brain to brain, like they are now with our children. They can do that right in the privacy of our own home now. They can hook our minds up to brain to computer interface. The only way this is going to change is to have all those satellites gone in the sky to make sure our children are safe and our animals. And yes, they are using those satellites to do exactly that, to hook our children's mind, our mind up to bring into computer artificial intelligence. And there's nothing good, personally, what I think about this artificial intelligence. To me, it is not of the light.
It's not good. It's not good. No, no, no. It's very bad. But from my perspective, a lot is happening that I can't talk about. I want to talk about it, but I also know I can't. And I wish I could. But I can say that there are steps being made for all of this to be collapsed. The systems, the frequencies, and all that are going to be taken out of their hands, and they're going to be used to restore us. Like instead of the hertz that they're using, we might use 432 hertz and blast that out to heal people. Just like the bells were used to align our chakras and keep, so we have a great day. And Just the church bells could do that. So they got rid of most of them. They buried them, and they did everything, but it's all going to get undone. So, even though it seems doom and gloom, there is light at the end of the tunnel. And we're going to do whatever we can to facilitate that light and to be that light, and to not become them, but to remain and restore as many people as we can in the process with the best news that we got. And I will share whatever I can when I can. Wednesday will be very interesting. Tomorrow I got Gordon on, and he's going to talk about his ideas. But there's a lot of let's just say the real royal family. Right now we have a German. They changed their last name, and it was a complete stolen crown, but by the same people that are doing all these things to our animals, to our air, spraying our air. They're all the same people behind the fake Charles, the fake crown. So I'm speaking to the actual Judites, the actual people in the bloodline of the real King David. So I'm privy to a lot of very exciting things, exciting people that will never come on my show because they just can't. They can't do it. I mean, it takes courage, even for you two, to be on this show. But at least what you're saying is getting archived. People know you have a book. They know what it's called now. When it's available, we can present it to them.
Book too, so it'll be cheap.
And it's your experience. It's your story, of an example of what's happening behind the scenes that people can understand a little more, because too much can be overbearing. If I put all the stories of all the guests I've had, it would traumatize people, and I don't want to traumatize anyone. But I know it's going to be hard. Just know that there's 3 of us here that really do care, and that I want that to give you hope that there are people working on the side of good, on the side of righteousness, that do care about their fellow man. You're not alone. Don't ever feel alone. Even if you're not religious, the Creator is with you always, and is the most beautiful, gracious entity known. And all my research has not even helped me to understand that much. It's the more I learn, the less I know, because the Creator is so complex. But I can bring it down to material form. The Creator is water, earth, fire, light, ether. He's just everywhere. That's how he's able to be omnipresent. Because if he's air, water, he's everywhere. You cannot. But without these things, we wouldn't be able to live. That's why I call the Creator the great facilitator. Because without the Creator, and the Creator allows us to be good or to be bad. We can choose. And our war right now is not spiritual. We're not fighting demons. They can't touch us. They can't hurt us. But we were dealing with bad people, evil people, godless people that are based, their whole system is based on greed. Campbell's soup, putting 3D printed chicken. What the hell, man? What's wrong with you? I trusted you, Campbell's. You suck. You're an abomination. You shouldn't be allowed to sell food. And all these foods, you disgust me. You should be in jail. You shouldn't be allowed to make 3 nickels off of us for what you've done to us. We can make better soup. We can make soup that will make you feel better. That will make you healthy. And we will get that back. We will not stop until it's done. Because we're not going to tolerate this baloney anymore, because it's no longer hidden. So that little game you were playing of hide and seek, it's over. We see under the rock, and the truth will set us free. Any final words, Marianne, before we go?
No, man, you guys are right on. I thank you for letting me be here and share my story. And Kim, I please stay in touch with me. Please come onto Twitter. Please join our group. Please come meet Kirk and Sue. And there's a whole lot of other people, and you're good. There'll be people there that are gonna even understand, and like where I don't understand, like the way that Dr. Anna came to me and said, you know, I believe you, Marianne, and just you're gonna, when you have somebody tell you, I believe you, it changes your life. And I believe you, and I support you 100,000%. So I just thank you very much for having me on the show, Paul, and anytime. You know, and Kim, please stay in touch with me.
I will, Mary.
Everyone on the bottom here, you can see Marianne Jacobsen on the bottom.
Yep.
That's her. That is her X. If you would like to find her on X,
it's Marianne, Marianne 2024999. That's my X address.
I would never be able to do that.
I've never gone to the X. I refuse.
I can't put numbers and X's, and I can't do that. I would have forgotten. That's a good memory.
Yeah. Well,
and Kim, as always,
thank you very much for your time.
My pleasure.
Thank you for being on, Paul, and thank you, Marianne. So glad to meet you, and we will in contact.
Absolutely, we will stay in touch. And of course, I want to thank you all at home as well for participating, for commenting, and Marianne and Kim. It was a pleasure having you on the Truth Table. Episode 18 of season 2. It's hard to believe we're here, but we are here. And, you know, we do talk about things that can make you cry, but we want to make you smile too. You know, crying is okay. It's hard to deal with, and it's hard to be alone, but we want to tell you, you're not alone. You know, and if you have a strong faith, you know, you're not alone. And even in that loneliness, you're never alone. So thank you for joining me. Thank you to my guests and those of you at home watching for joining the Truth Table.